And the sun has set here at Saluda. We are under the stars at the General Tire Pro Pulling Nationals, presented by Mack Trailers. Ken Stout and Leslie Mears here calling the action for you as we kick off the first round for the super modified two-wheel drive category.
So much excitement in this category as everybody gets to do a little test and tune indoors, but that just kind of doesn't even really wet your whistle for what it's like to be outdoors with these machines, because indoors they can only run about 240 feet. Here we've got a track of at least 350 feet for them as Donnie Sullivan kicks things off here with Big Ed Red.
No playing around here, man. He goes right to the mat with this thing. He did pick up a win last year, but look at that number, 312 and 52. That's getting with it right out of the gate.
To put up such a huge number really tests the patience of our officials here as they're trying to see where the sled is set and how they're going to make things happen. But take a look at that big turn there, just like everybody else in our unlimited super stock class, having to get on the brake to bring it back to the center so he does not go out of bounds.
Yeah, so I mean, that's got to tell us there's another 10-foot at least lane out there, and no doubt with this class being as stacked as it is, somebody's going to find it.
And there's a bullet at every turn. You've got Keith Long in the 4th position, and then you've got the Nelsons rounding out the top 10, Tony Tatum in there, and then you got Keith again, and then more Nelsons and Mumma. And then let's not forget Lisa Tatum down there, the former champ, will be one of the next to last hooks, and then last, the reigning champion. So everyone is tough, and it's just hard to get a win out here.
Jamie Mattingly backing up here. Terry spent some time with him earlier, and he won the first hook of the year 1 year ago.
Jamie Mattingly has one of the baddest hot rods on the entire planet in 2014 with his first season with the PPL. What did you learn in 2014?
A lot of tough competitors. Learned a lot about PPL, Lucas Oil Deal. It's fun.
What are you going to change going into 2015 to make yourself more competitive, more consistent? What is the key to getting that championship?
Well, you learn a lot first year, learn the tracks. We've been running on in a few years, and like here, I ain't never been here. Dad's been here a few times, but I haven't ever. So it's going to start over the new season and hopefully be good.
Are you excited?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't let that quiet demeanor fool you. These guys are all vicious underneath, and they are thirsty for those wins, and they will do anything that it takes once they get on the track to pull that off.
Well, he was steering away in there on that steering wheel. Of course, the front tire's up in the air most of the time, and that truck looks fabulous, especially for our Blue Oval fans out there. Let's watch this thing one more time.
And you can see rolls into it really soft, and then it's about the 75-foot mark where he goes full throttle, just making it happen out there and just giving it tons of methanol to really get that front end up in the air. And if he would maybe have weighted it a little differently, could we have seen him go 350 feet like we saw our Unlimited Supers?
Maybe. He took the lead at 320 and 41, so a great effort there out of Mattingly with the spike truck. Here's one for you old school fans. You gotta love this thing. It is absolutely beautiful. Irvin Clark bringing out the Taz Toy. One of my favorite cartoon characters back when I was a kid, the Tasmanian Devil, and he comes out here, puts 290 and 81 up on the board, but it's a great looking ride for sure.
And Irv coming to us from the New York area here to the Pro Pulling League, just kind of getting his feet wet, freed up his schedule, and able to run the Champions Tour this year.
All right, let's go down to Terry Boyd with an update on the track.
Here's the big change that's going on, at least trackside right now. Everybody was trying to lean to the right. Now, the consensus here is nobody's going to change until somebody didn't go down the track far enough. No reason to get out of the road. A lot of guys are starting to look at creeping more to the center of the track, still doing their best to stay in bounds.
And that's interesting that no one wants to go over to the left. And, you know, John Mears was talking about the sheen coming up and really making it kind of slick and hard to handle out there. When the track gets slick under these conditions, the sled just really doesn't operate to its fullest potential, and it actually makes it harder for our pullers to pull the sled on the slick track, not to mention they can't dig their tires in.
Running up, burying those back tires, and it sounded like it laid up short right at the very end. 3:11 and 22 is a solid effort. It'll put him in third place right now. Tim Messer makes it into the top three. We'll be back, and we'll continue on with this large, super modified two-wheel drive category.
The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Speedco Truck Lube and Tires, built for speed, staffed for quality, delivering world-class value. And by E3 Spark Plugs, born to burn.
Once again, welcome back to the General Tire Pro Pulling Nationals presented by Mack Trailers as the Long Boys prepare. They went winless with the MAV TV truck one season ago, and they're hoping to turn things around here this year. Terry Boyd is down with them.
Going into 2015, Keith Long has been the runner-up the last couple of seasons, and he'll be the first to admit he likes working on him even more than he likes driving him. Is that maybe what's getting in the way?
You know, sometimes when you do both, you actually think too much about what you're doing, you know, and I'm wondering how the truck's going to respond, what it's going to do this way or that way, and it probably takes away from my driving because I'm concentrating on what that engine's going to do.
Here, I'll help you figure this out. When you're at home and you're on your own time and you're not doing anything, what are you thinking more about, driving or wrenching?
Wrenching, definitely.
I think we just solved the problem.
I hope we did. Maybe we can find someone to do the other one.
When 2014 was really a rough year for the Long team because they had more mechanical breakage than they've ever had before, and so they had to chase a lot of problems, not only on the two-wheelers, but on the four engines on the modified tractor as well, and that's a lot of work out there.
And unfortunately, he's going to lay up well short of what he needs to win here tonight at 291 and 49. And I'm sure we'll watch this thing one more time. But in essence, these guys are really mad scientists, so their brain's working all the time to try and make a better mousetrap. But unfortunately, it just didn't pay off tonight. He'll go back to work on that thing for sure, and it will get better. They are very, very talented as we see a new name come into the category.
Jesse Petro driving P5.
.320 and 41 was the mark to beat if you want to take over the lead, and 298 and 17 is going to be a good bit short there for Jesse.
And Jesse, a veteran driver, the P5 indicative of the fifth pulling truck that the Petro team has out here. And you can see he does a nice job trying to get the front end up, just trying to do something a little bit differently out here on the track, because you can see everyone running within just a few feet of each other out there on the track in that center lane.
And once again, let's go down to Terry Boyd again. He is with John Mears with more on this track.
We often talk about Big John Mears. He really has one of the toughest jobs on the planet. He's got to fight Mother Nature. Sometimes it's too warm, sometimes it's too cold, sometimes it's too wet, sometimes it's too dry. Who would have thought here in Saluda we would get this cool tonight? You got great air on your hands.
Oh, absolutely. These guys are making big horsepower, and they're being able to run a faster gear, which means they're going to put more weight on the nose, and it's just a perfect storm for those guys. But for me, it's a little rougher here when we've had to add an extra weight at 4 into the class, and we'll just make it a floating finish. They're all running some stuff and strong. They're going to be out there 320, 325.
And when he's talking about running 4 and resetting it, they actually ran 4 trucks in the class and then had to make some major adjustments to the sled because they were out there almost to 350 feet, and you just can't run the class that far out there on the track. And this will be the second effort here from Dr. Tim Messer, this time driving wide open.
And Tim did get up on the podium a couple of times last year. Great looking ride for sure. 291.08 will not be enough to get him onto the podium here tonight, though.
Everybody's trying something a little bit different, and you can see he kind of waits to get out of the hole, and here it's going to be about your hole shot to get the sled moving down there. And so it's really kind of a slow, patient effort for Tim Messer, and then he kind of jabs the throttle a little bit harder out there, trying to feel it hook up and to get a good grip on the track.
All right, one of the young guns inside of this category is Reese Shelton, and great to have him out here. He's always a lot of fun to talk to. He and his brother kind of badger each other, but both of them have a lot of talent. And, of course, her father is a champion in 2 different categories now. Boy, and you can just hear the RPMs on that thing a good bit more than some of the other trucks, but unfortunately did not yield the result that he was looking for at 298. These guys are having a tough time getting out there past the 300-foot mark. And take a look at that windshield as well. I mean, it looked like it started to haze over, fog over there right at the very end.
And it is just so cool out here that the guys are really trying to figure out what the barometric pressure is so that they can get their fuel set up right on the track. So make sure that they're not, a little too fat. They don't want to be too lean out here. Of course, they want to be just right. But it really kind of throws a curveball in things when it's so warm during the day and then it cools down like this at night.
We're not finished yet. We still have some talented trucks and drivers coming out here to see if they can knock Jamie Mattingly off the top. And once again, we're back here at the General Tire Pro Pulling Nationals presented by Mack Trailers. We're at the Saluda Young Farmers Recreational Complex in Saluda, South Carolina. Up next is going to be the Nelson team. Terry Boyd spent some time with Jeremy Nelson earlier today.
Try to explain that for people at home, because when you really are the guy who's working on it and you're tuning it, you're getting it ready to go, then you assume the role of the driver. Those are 2 different mindsets, and you were kind of anticipating what you thought the motor was going to do based on the tune that you put into it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'd set a tune up and then overanalyze how I needed to drive it, where once you set the tune up, you go out of the role of tuner and into driver. So that's kind of the way we approached it, and that worked well. And we started getting some good luck coming our way, but we capitalized on it too. So we had a lot of fun the last 5 or 6 hooks last year, and so we didn't change nothing on my truck, and gonna go at it like we ended last year, hopefully.
I think the piece of advice that someone gave him about mid-season last year, right before he started to hit his stride, was to stop thinking about it. Just get in there and drive it. And I think that that's something that's really tough for our guys that do serve as mechanic, tuner, and driver.
It is so easy to do. He goes towards the left side of the track, 284 and 80, and again is going to miss here. These guys are no doubt searching for that magical piece of track. And Lisa Tatum is standing over there to the side. She is pacing the track, former champion inside of this category, as she watches her father, Tony, hook up to the sled and make a run at it. Boy, and it just tugs that huge power plant down. He digs those rear tires into the dirt, but he does make it past the 300-foot mark at 303 and 96. I mean, our leader's still way out there, but that's the best effort we've seen in a number of trucks.
Absolutely, and look how he so slightly brings it back to the center of the track there. Just a great correction there by Tony to bring it back to the middle of the track. And that's probably what brought him back around. He's getting into some territory where a lot of trucks haven't been yet because they've been more to the center of the track. So he picked up some nice fresh dirt at the end and gained some distance.
And I promise you, Keith Long was watching every second of it. We'll find out if he was able to learn anything here with the Riding Dirty truck.
And he's not scared. He's going for the sideline.
And a beautiful effort here. He's going to lay up just short of the top 3 at 310 and 53, but that is a nice job.
And a nice move there. Looks like that pull that Ron Bargy Sr. had when he won, as he did that old slingshot crisscross the track move there to help him keep from going out of bounds on the right side.
Well, we told you that Reese Shelton had a brother, and here he is. This is Grayson Shelton in the Cope lumber truck. When that thing hopped a couple of times early on, and he'll run in at 298 and 16.
And many of the pullers in this category will tell you how important that first 100 feet is to them. And they'll say that the pull is actually won or lost in the first 100 feet as you roll out with the sled and get moving.
It's amazing how many trucks are falling into this 290 range, separated by just the smallest of amounts. Chris Smith coming up with the stimulus package. No brakes there, just kind of wheeled that thing back over towards the center of the track, but 296 and 19 is going to be too short here for tonight. He's going to fall right in the thick of it.
And I've noticed with most of our two-wheel drives out here tonight that the track must be a little loose because you're seeing that they're really slinging a lot of dirt, a lot of marbles out there, and so it makes it tricky for them to get hooked up.
John Muma, the back-to-back champ inside of this category. Boy, and John struggled as well, and I think it was that first 100 feet that you were talking about that's so critical. It just wasn't a smooth launch. 288 and 82 will be the distance.
And with so many of our pullers using the same space on the starting line, you've got to wonder if they're really wearing out the whole shot down there, and there's just not a lot of good dirt left.
Beautiful onboard shot there from Ion, of course, and we'll come back. This is going to be Jared Nelson in the Midnight Revenger.
Sporting some new colors this year, some support from Boyd & Sons Construction and their Warrior Tracks product.
And the Midnight Revenger will end up with a 310.08.
And that's going to be 4,500, so almost 6 inches behind Keith Long. And so he's been one that's found a groove out there as well, even though he got a really rough start. So he was able to pick it up. Just a great tune-up on this machine, though, by Jared Nelson in the Midnight Revenger to be able to go that far after a few little hops there on the starting line.
And a great looking ride as well. I'm sure the GM boys out there, the bow tie fans, are digging that truck. So Jamie Mattingly so far able to dodge a tough field of two-wheel drive trucks. We'll find out if he can win this thing when we come back.
The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is brought to you by General Tire, 100 years of adventure. Ion Camera, the lightest, fastest, fully waterproof HD action camera on the market. And by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world.
All right, just 2 trucks left. 2 of the best in the class here at the General Tire Pro Pulling Nationals, presented by Mack Trailers. They are both females, one a former champion and one is the reigning champion. We'll kick things off here with Lisa Tatum, and the truck is called Full Throttle. We'll see if her father, Tony, was able to learn anything that he could apply to this truck.
Green light, green flag. Here we go.
Well, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen here tonight for Lisa Tatum. 295 and 98.
And, you know, the run looked good out there. It just seems that, you know, maybe a little head off on the setup, but so many variables here on these vehicles. There's a lot of changes that can be made as you watch her inside the cockpit go to work.
Boy, she just squeezed into the throttle and she got ready. She went right to the mat with it. All right, coming up next is our reigning champion. It was her rookie season, but she had some great support behind her. We had a chance to speak with her a little bit earlier today to find out when that championship really sunk in.
No, it
I mean, just huge in her first full season driving. And, you know, it's kind of odd to say she's a rookie because she did drive before, but never in the two-wheel drive category.
New colors and a new body on that truck. It looks awesome, called Sweet Revenge. And 297 and 46 will not get her a podium finish here tonight, unfortunately. Let's check in with Terry, who's at the podium.
Mattingly Racing starts off the 2015 year with an overall win. I got to tell you what, Jamie, that was a heck of a run.
Yeah, it was. It felt good. A good way to start the year.
Let's talk about this track tonight. It was tricky. Everybody's giving you advice. How were you able to beat everybody?
He helped out. I mean, watching his first run, then get to come back, be number 2 hook, helped out.
You know, we were talking earlier, and you were saying, hey, this is kind of a disease. I'm back in 100%.
It is a disease. We run a long time ago. We quit, got burned out, decided we just couldn't do without it anymore and had to start all over.
Well, I'll tell you what, looks like 2015, based upon where you are already, the series points leaders, you made the right decision.
We had a good year last year. Last year was our learning curve. We tried to make a lot of notes from last year, try to apply them for this year. So far, first shot out, it worked.
Jamie Mattingly definitely has a knack for winning the first hook of the year.
And he made it look easy tonight for sure. As you see, Donnie Sullivan finishing second. He was the first puller on the official sled setting tonight, and so that got him the second place. Tim Messer finishing third and 13th out there. And you can see some big names like John Muma and Jeremy Nelson finding themselves at the back of the pack. Let's head back to the podium.
Well, Team Sullivan starting off the season 2015, second overall. They stand at the top of the pile for a while.
We made a good, strong run first night. We've made a lot of changes to Big Ed Red over the winter and trying to get more competitive, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Just about everybody this year so far has said, hey, I made a ton of changes. Is it just because the competition is getting that much better?
That two-wheel drive class is stacked from top to bottom, and you make a little mistake, you're in the back. And we've been in the back for a while, and we're made a lot of changes, and we're going to try to change that this year.
Based on what you guys did tonight, it looks like you really threw it down. You're making a statement about 2015.
We're just trying to be more competitive and more consistent. We've got a good team. I wouldn't trade my team for anybody. I mean, I got guys that work their tails off day and night to get this stuff ready for us, and my wife lets me go anytime I want to go to the shop, and we put hours, and everybody that runs well puts hours upon hours in this deal, and just thank Lucas Oil for putting this program together for us to have a chance to come out here and play.
And of course, they're great people as well. So we take a look at the points here. Of course, the points are going to be lined up exactly how they finished here tonight after this first hook of the season, but it will be a long season and very, very tough, as Donnie Sullivan just alluded to. Well, the doctor had a great run here tonight. Dr. Tim Messer finishes up on the podium in third place.
Tim Messer starts off the year third overall here on the first race of the season. You got to go down the track early, and then you had to come back. How much did the track change during the night?
I think the track changed pretty drastically. Maybe after the 10th or 11th truck, the track seemed to go away, so I think it was definitely to our advantage to have early number 9.
How difficult is it? You come into the new season with a whole brand new truck, everything's brand new. It's, really the first run, the inaugural run for you guys.
First pass on this motor, on this chassis, it's just luck of the draw. We actually had an ignition problem at the end of the run. Maybe cost us a few feet. Maybe we could have gotten second place. I don't think we were going to catch Jamie. And congratulations to him, by the way.
So we are off and running for the 2015 season. The first hook is in the books here from Saluda, South Carolina. We hope you enjoyed all the great pulling action. We'll have plenty to come before the end of this season, and champions are crowned once again. For Leslie Mears and Terry Boyd, I'm Ken Stout. Thanks for watching the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League.